Hello, this is Abby, and this show is With Abby. We are going to talk about homesickness. We sometimes live somewhere, which might be away from home. Why do we feel homesickness? Why do we miss home? We are going to talk about this topic with my friends here. I have to my right Tricia. Hello, Tricia.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Abby.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
And I have Elise here. Hi, Elise.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
And the last one we have Dr. Farah. Doctor.
Hi.
You are not from this place.
Okay.
You belong to another country.
Yes.
But you are here for work and for many other things. Do you feel homesickness?
I think now, we're 10 years in the region,
Right.
so we have created our own home here. We've settled into it. In the beginning, though, it was very tough because we are so far from home. That's the other bit.
Yeah.
That's mentally, challenging, physically challenging as well. It's not like you can jump on one plane and get home quickly, right? You actually have to plan 2 flights. So I think just the shared distance and me being a family person and always, around family, it was a big deal. It was a big deal moving away and making that decision ourselves to leave. So I think the first year was tough. It was tough the first year. Even though I didn't come alone, I was still with my husband. But for him, he was fine because he had me. But for me, I needed more. I needed, a lot more.
Of course, yeah.
So I think for me to adjust, it was about integrating, meeting new people, and finding people you could connect with. And luckily, the place that I was working at, beautiful people. Beautiful
Wow, that's
souls.
a pleasure.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, really nice people, people that I connected with. And even though there's so many different backgrounds, and as much as, people would start looking at me and speaking Hindi or Urdu, and at first I was really anxious to reply, and I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. I'm like, I only speak English. They were like, you're not from India, you're not from Pakistan? And I'm like, no, I'm from the West Indies. Wow. And then we're like, West Indies? What? You have your kind of people there? Like, so it's like, it was always a good conversation starter too, when they were totally thrown off. But it's really about finding and making myself comfortable and finding people that I was comfortable with.
Find your tribe.
Yeah, you find your tribe, exactly. And it's challenging being away, honestly. It's not the easiest thing. And, sometimes people's intentions, it's not the best, and I am accustomed to a certain way. We are all accustomed to certain things, certain comforts, even food. I couldn't find my food here in the beginning, and it was really challenging. But, there's still Trinis here, so I had a Trini friend, and he would tell me, you need to go to Choithrams to get those peas. You need to go, little things like that. Yeah, little things like that actually made a big difference because when I started cooking home food with home flavor, that helped,
Yeah.
So, and then finding more people like us, hearing, people speak the way I speak,
Nice.
It's just about finding your space.
Finding your space.
And your parents come to visit you, don't they?
Oh yes, so that was one of the biggest
so
things.
You bring your family to you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the first year no one came to visit us, so that was a big deal.
Yeah.
It's too far.
It's too far. Why would anybody come?
Yeah.
And then my best friend came. She and another friend came, so that was like our first visitor. And then my cousin came as well. So when people started visiting, it felt so good. It was like home people are here.
Oh, come to Dubai. It's so nice.
Exactly.
It's
So everybody who
gorgeous.
knew me in the beginning, they were like, oh, she's trying to make you come to Dubai. Yes.
Please bring them here. We need them.
Everybody there. Why not?
Interesting, Doctor. Tricia,
Well, I've lived here now 16 years, and
you come from far place as well.
very far. I have, but I've as an Australian, I've not lived in Australia for maybe 38 years.
Goodness.
Wow. So I've really become very accustomed to not living in Australia, and I don't think of Australia as home, really. I think of France as home, where I lived for 20 years and my children were born, and I have amazing friends in France, and I really, I must have had a past life or something, if you believe in those things, in France, because I'm very much at home in France. And I do miss France. When I go back, I think, oh, I just love being back. Everything, the air, the nature, the
Back in
cheese.
Australia or back in France?
In France.
In
I love
France.
Australia too
Okay.
for the same reasons, but I just have this calling to, well, my children are in France, so that makes a difference. But so when the way I deal with homesickness is, if it's in the moment and it's something that I can do quickly, I'll call someone.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll always just reach out and call them.
And nowadays it's so easy.
So
with
easy.
Technology.
So easy.
You can see them as well.
I've even got a deal with my telephone provider that I have free calls to Australia, which I chose because that's the furthest one,
Wow.
right? So I call everyone I can think of in Australia. Sometimes too often.
Even the
But,
local, she called the local grocery. Do you remember me?
I've done it. I've called up florists and said, "Can you deliver to my mum?
Wow.
She's just around the corner."
Wow.
And I've called up. And when it comes to France, I'm obviously able to contact with my kids very easily. So in the moment, I'm able to calm that homesickness down.
Yeah.
But if it's this underlying feeling of yearning, this gentle yearning to be somewhere else than where I am.
We all yearn.
We do.
Somehow, one way or another, we all yearn.
I for my own benefit, without feeling like I'm a traitor to the love I have for them,
Yeah.
I come back here. I just bring my mind back here.
Right.
And as you very well teach, into a mindful exercise where I invite my mind and body back into this room, and I enjoy what I have. And I feel grateful for where I am.
That's nice. That's nice.
And that helps me overcome the homesickness, because it can linger, and thought begets thought. So the moment I start telling myself I'm homesick, then I think of all the things I'm missing out on.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
And
that's
then-
happened to me.
And that's imagination, because maybe I'm not missing out on anything, and maybe they're busy, and if I was there, they wouldn't be available right now for me to see them. So I'm telling myself a few stories, really. But that lovely, as you say, the food makes a difference.
Yeah.
Coming here and finding so much food from so many different places. I found things from Australia here that I haven't lived with for 20 years in France.
Wow.
So it was quite something. And the same goes for France. I can find everything here, so it helps me to feel more at home.
It's interesting, because when people, we all come here initially and then we're all homesick. But then the moment we go back home and we try to live
I
home.
want to come back to the bar.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very true, actually. That's very true.
All the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
right?
And then you come for a visit.
And when you come back, you actually feel settled the second time around.
Right.
Yes.
So the first time it is like, it's a new place, but once you go
Different.
home and you experience it again, and then you come back, be like, oh, yeah.
I want to
let's
buy
just stay
more.
here, yeah. This works better, It's like I'm actually comfortable now.
Yes.
So I think it's something we all go through as expats, right?
Definitely.
Especially if there's an event that's going on in our
can't
home
join.
country,
Right.
and we're not there for it. That's something else, like a
Yes.
birth or a funeral even,
Funeral, exactly.
or maybe someone's graduating, or a wedding, or an
Yeah.
engagement, or moving into a house, or or someone's feeling low and they miss you. Then all of a sudden your mind will drift off and go back there. So it's all mind, it's all thought, really, isn't it?
I think it's very, like, I'm not that homesick very often.
You
which-
cannot be. The whole of UK is here in Dubai, Elise.
Exactly. And I do get
And when you
lots
miss
of
home, you could go to the Irish village, and they're all there.
That's true. And lucky there's lots of nice places to eat fish and chips. So when I feel homesick, I go and have fish and chips and I'm fine. So luckily.
Somebody told me when I did ask him, what do you do when you feel homesick? And he said, oh, I go to Global Village. And I said, what? I swear he did say that. He said, my country's there. And I said, what do you mean? He said, the food is there, the people are there, the dress is there. So honestly, I'm not really away.
Yeah.
I go to the Global Village. I said, yeah, but Global Village is open in winter.
Right.
Or in winter. What do
Yeah.
you do in summer? He said, well, I'll wait for it.
I've heard it's really good.
It is
And the food
amazing.
is very
Global
authentic.
Village is amazing.
Yeah.
Especially in this weather. Oh,
Well, for
God.
anyone listening or watching who is not in Dubai, come and enjoy Global
Yeah.
Village, because
Absolutely.
It is. It's a representation of the world in one place.
We are advertising Global Village now.
It's like a full-time expo.
Absolutely.
It's a great place.
Exactly. Oh, the expo itself too was amazing. That was the first time my country was represented here.
Oh,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Your country was an expo.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Exactly.
Wow.
We had- And one of my husband's paintings were also in the display for our thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was amazing. It was.
You should have
really-
brought it here.
Oh,
We could have shown people here.
Yeah, it's amazing. He painted our national flower, the chiconia.
Yeah.
So it was there, and it was just really good, like and to show the kids as well, because remember they are only hearing about Trinidad, and when we visit and they see Trinidad and Tobago, you know, they're just learning about it. But you know, for them to come and see their country represented at that level.
That's another total feeling, different
Yeah,
feeling.
exactly, and it was so.
Proudness.
It was, yes, it's pride. You feel good about you know that representation. You know, representation does matter because we're such a two small islands. You know, our population is like 1 point something million. You know, it's like a small town somewhere. You know, so it was really good. And then what made the international day that the schools have here, you know, where every country gets, even though we're the only one from Trinidad and Tobago, I made sure and have my kids have something so they would know that this is theirs, because they would get lost.
You cooked for the whole school?
Oh no, not at all. It was a booth. It was a booth.
It was a booth.
Yeah.
Like for 11 people.
Yeah. It was just a booth, you know, with our flags, and because we have so many famous sports people as well. And did you know that the steel pan actually originated in Trinidad and Tobago?
Oh,
cool.
Yes, many people don't know that. I mean, you hear it every island, but it started with us, you know. So, and this is something that we're proud of, you know, and we love the sound of it. And even my 6-year-old son, he can pick up the sound in other music, like when regular music is playing. One day he was like, the steel pan is in it. And I'm like, what? And then I paid attention, and then we heard it, you know. So
There is something special about everyone coming from everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere,
Right.
exactly. So, you know, when you see it here, especially, I mean, Dubai, really, I love Dubai because everybody has a chance to be represented. You
It's
know?
a very cosmopolitan place,
Exactly.
isn't
Very,
it? Right?
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a true melting
And you are
pot.
accepted
Do you think it's a
regardless who
melting
you
pot? I
are.
think it's a mixed salad. I think
A
that
mixed salad. I love that word.
people tend to
Yes,
tomatoes with
exactly.
tomatoes, olives with
Exactly.
olives, cucumbers with cucumbers.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
really,
yeah.
unless in the workplace, which I love for that very reason, where we work with other
All
people all
together.
the time. But when we socialise or we go back home we tend to stick to our tomatoes or our olives or our cucumbers.
That's the thing, not with me. I mean, we're so little of us, you know. We blend in, you know. My really good friends are Finnish and from Lithuania, and then I have friends from England, you know. So it's like it's and Malaysia and you know and Indonesia, South Africa. So these are our close bunch. I don't have. Yes, I have.
We have the whole world.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We're lucky.
Yeah.
We're lucky.
Exactly.
And the great thing in here, living in here, to be honest, is we respect each other regardless of who we are or the background we come from.
Yes.
And even we respect the religion, the belief, or we respect what we're doing, which is great.
Yes, so that helps with homesickness because once what I've done in the past is when I felt that just that little pull of what's wrong, I'm not feeling great, I'll invite someone over and we'll have a meal together, or a typical Australian meal or a typical French meal, or maybe I'll contact my friends from that country and just have a chat, you know.
Yeah, we do that as well with
that's true,
food, you know. So even when I was working in clinics and I made my pilau, it's our Trinidadian dish, I took it from my nurses back in work, and then they tried it, and they're from the Philippines, and they were like, oh, we have something similar to this, you know.
You find
And then-
connections.
yeah, exactly, because a lot of their food is because we're island people, I guess. The ingredients we use are the same.
Do you guys
just
eat
how
a
we
lot
do
of
it.
fish?
No,
Seafood, I mean.
well, no, I wouldn't say that much, even though we're an island.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, you would think, but one of our like delicacy things, it's like bacon shark. So, but you go to a particular beach, one beach, and oh my God, you're making me miss.
She's homesick already.
Supposed to be making you
Reel it in, we'll stop now.
Doctor, the episode is about how not to feel homesick.
Yeah, but
You're doing exactly the opposite.
You started the
So
conversation
now we're
up.
completely miserable. Goodbye.
Sorry, we're changing the topic to make it how to feel homesick. Anyway, we did enjoy listening to each other, how not to feel homesick, or what to do to help not to feel homesick. What I believe is you are home, away from home, wherever you are in the world. Because is it the memories? Is it the place? Is it the smell? Is it the food only? Or is it finding people with the same mentality, same energy, right? Okay, we all miss the places we grew up in, but at the end of the day, we are citizens for this universe. Regardless where we go, doesn't matter where we go, we should feel somehow connected. This is the place, this universe is the place where we have memories, where we met most of the people, where, I'm sorry to say, but where wars happen, peace happen, battles, romantic stories, everything happened and we are aware of happened in this universe, in this, I'm sorry, on this world. All the memories, all the romantic stories, all the wars, everything happened here. Every person we heard of, every person we're hearing of, and every person we will hear about happens in this universe, in this world, in this globe as well. So we are one Earth in this cosmos, and everything happens here. We are the citizen of this globe, and who knows, there might be another life somewhere else. So we belong to Earth, and we are, whether we like it or not, we are one family. Thank you. Bye-bye.